Hello and welcome back to our monthly roundup show as part of our Inside Imps series. This episode will be reviewing March, so let's kick things off by catching up with Martin Hickerton from Lincoln City's Foundation.
Hi, I'm Martin Hickerton. I'm the Chief Executive at the Lincoln City Foundation and just got a few thoughts about environmental sustainability matters and how we've approached that here at the club and as a charity. So I think the first thing to say is that we've very much approached it as a partnership approach, and that's been really key. When Section 15 of the CCOP came out a couple of years ago, I know a lot of us looked at it and went, well, there's a lot here that's embedded with the club. It's not just about what the CCO does, and that's been absolutely central to our approach. So we've taken the framework from the FLT and looked at the EFL framework and combined the two things together. So that was really instrumental. It gives us a master approach. Building on the back of that, what we've done is develop a green team here at Lincoln City. So we've got club representation and foundation representation coming together regularly to talk about the issues that make a difference. We know from previous conferences that food, energy, transport make up probably 80% of all of the environmental impact that you can have. And so we focus there, but it has grown arms and legs and move forward as well. And so far it's been really good to actually have a tangible impact with simple things like putting in bike shelters, because we knew that was a need for transport, looking at solar panels. It is difficult to have a big impact, but we're working our way through it. Additionally, what we've tried to do is really bring things to life with practical programmes and all about action and engaging the community. So behind me you can see our Green Leaders vest. I was actually wearing that myself at the weekend, supporting a community litter pick. Very proud to be able to put on a Green Leaders vest, but a lot of people do. We've got a number of them. Last year we had an employability programme which we were finding it really hard to sell at the time actually to young people. But once we made it Green Leaders with an environmental slant on it, it flew and we booked it out really quickly. The young people came along and learnt about sustainability at a professional football club, what they can do with the community, and actually spent some great time together running some practical tasks and making an impact locally. On a match day now, you'll see Green Leaders out and about in the community around the football club, getting some early litter pick going up, talking to people about what impact they can make, and it's been a really good process to have in place for us here at the football club.
We recently caught up with City's #1 Carl Rushworth, where we discussed how he feels his loan is going at the club and also his plans for the future. Over the course of your time here at the club, where do you think you've improved the most as a goalkeeper?
In terms of my actions, I'd say my crossing. I feel as though that because in this league and with last season as well, I'm getting a lot more crosses into the box. So me demanding my area and coming for a lot more and decision making, I think that's improved massively.
One of your targets, I think, when you came here was to keep more clean sheets than last season. You've done that with 13 in total so far. Firstly, how happy are you to have achieved that? And then what's next? What's the next goal?
Yeah, I'm buzzing with that. Obviously it was one of my personal targets at the start of the season, but like it comes quick, like especially with the games, like already however many games that we've played, and like you don't realise until you take a step back and actually look at what you've achieved. And then obviously for the rest of the season it's just about getting as many points on the board and as many clean sheets, set a target for myself for the next season to try and beat that, and then pushing up the table and try and push for playoff as well.
Here, if you like, some handling, some movement stuff, just to get us sharp. We'll come into the goal. I've done something similar with you before. Two of you in, bit of a frenzy, might be some cutback.
Carl's first day here was also your first day, so you'll have seen the progression maybe better than anybody. How has he settled into the group here at the club?
He's settled really well. He's a really friendly character, a dry sense of humour, very respected amongst his peers. Tends to keep himself to himself and go about his business quietly, but no, you can tell he's a well-respected figure in the group and a big part of it.
And what's he like to work with every day as a character?
He's a challenging character in terms of wanting to understand the why. So why we do things, the reason for things. But he's very thought-provoking and an intelligent goalkeeper. I think we see that in his performances, the way he plays. He recognises how he can play against certain presses, when he needs to play a little bit longer, how we do that. So he's a real challenge for myself and the other goalkeepers in terms of his high standards, which is pleasing.
And you speak about that development that he wants. Where have you seen him improve the most over his time?
I think one of the biggest areas he's improved on is his crossing and his commanding of his box. So one of the big things he works on, first of all, is his positioning. His parent club and here we're trying to get him to play a little bit higher, so he's able to come and take crosses. And from being in higher positions, he's allowed himself to come and take crosses further out in the box, and then when he does get there, then it's around his decision of what does he do? Does he catch? Does he punch? Does he affect it? Does he return to his goal and give himself a chance of making a save? And I think that's an area that he's really kicking on with. Weekly we go through his games and his performances, and weekly we're seeing him come and catch crosses in open play, from wide free kicks, from corners, and I think it's an area that he's really priding himself on developing, and certainly has kicked on with it. So turn off the post in here, turn off the post and adjust into line, drop slightly, low save in here.
And beyond your time at Lincoln, what's the plans for you both in domestic football and then internationally, because you've been involved with the England setups for a while now as well, haven't you?
With England, I think that I've been involved in quite a few camps now, and I think just my personal target is to get my debut. Obviously we've got some important camps coming up, so just want to try and get the opportunity and take it when I get it, hopefully.
Our academy and our women's side have also been in action throughout March. Let's see how they got on.
The month of March saw some exciting action from both the women and the academy teams. Let's start with Lee Mitchell's side. Lincoln City women were limited to just 2 games in March due to postponements. Their first match was a 2-2 draw against top of the league Stourbridge, where the Imps managed to get a last-minute equaliser for a huge point. They then travelled to Sheffield FC, where they once again picked up a point, drawing 2-2 with goals from Leah Hardy and Tony McHamilton, as Lee Mitchell praised his side spirit after coming back from being 2 goals down. The Imps now sit 8th in the table, looking to build upon their 2 dramatic comebacks as they kick off April against Northampton Town at home. In comparison, the under-18s had a very busy month. The young Imps side kicked off March with a 2-2 draw away at local rivals Grimsby Town. Ash Foyle's side victory against Hartlepool was particularly impressive, as their attacking dominance stood out in a 6-goal thriller where the Imps won 4-2 with a brace from Bailey Adamson. Foyle used a much younger side for the majority of March, consisting of players from under 16s and under 15s, so despite losses to Doncaster Rovers and Harrogate Town, Foyle was constantly impressed with his side's battling displays. Whilst it was a challenging end to the month for the young Imps, the team demonstrated resilience, determination and the ability to compete at a higher level, something head coach Ash Foyle can take great pride in.
As always, we like to set our lads a challenge to complete. This month they had a fork and a coin and had to roll it in. It sounds simple, let's see how they got on.
No, there's no way. The speed was perfect and it's not gone in.
That's all for this episode. We'll be back next time as we review April and see how it went for the club. Don't forget, Window 2 is now open for supporters wishing to purchase or renew their 23-24 gold memberships. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
because he's got the pass it early.
Say the second one, look at this from Paul Mayo. He turns on it and hits it. I mean, if he meant that, that's magnificent.
Unbelievable.
I know Ryan Laws thinks he's still got a chance, but another superb left foot volley.
This season the Imps are knocking on the promotion door again. They went into this weekend 6th in Division 3.
I think we're the